Hello, my brilliant physicians and providers and leaders in healthcare. If it sucks so bad, why are you still there? That's the question we're talking about this week. That's what we're working on is if it's so terrible, what are you still doing there? You are brilliant and strong and you figure things out and you do things on your own. So let's talk about helping you release you from feeling stuck where you are and helping you see how possible the options all are. Hello, I'm Miranda Nelson. I help healthcare professionals and providers and physicians and leaders love their work again. You love what you do, but you're feeling so stuck in a system that's so fucked up. Like the system is so screwed up. It just is. So why are you still fighting by their rules? Why are you still beating your head against the wall, trying to show them that there's a way? We talked last week about how part of burnout is you seeing how possible it is and how easily huge shifts could make things better for providers, physicians, patients, administrators, cash flow, staff members. One easy thing would make things so much better. And you try telling the administration and you try saying it just the right way and you try overachieving them to show them how simple it could be, but they don't want to see it. So then you hit a point where you need to step back and realize they don't want to see it. This is just how it is. And I see so many either try to disassociate and give up and just be okay in that system. Like, I just need to be okay. And then you feel stuck and you're not that incredible provider or physician that you want to be. You're not having that relationship with your patients or your staff members or your colleagues that you want to have. You're not showing up in your life the way that you want to show up. That's burnout, right? That's this conflict between the how it could be, the what you truly care about, and how it actually is. Yes. What we're talking about this week, though, is you're still there. Yeah, you're still there. So instead of it should be this way or it shouldn't be this way, we're going to have awareness that that's okay. Yeah, I'm still here. We're going to acknowledge that that's true. Okay. Yeah, I'm still here. They're not going to change. My way is actually pretty great. It is really possible. And then we can start moving forward, right? Then we can start getting curious about it. We can start wondering where that comes from instead of judging ourselves and dismissing how we shouldn't feel, getting curious about, yes, I do feel that way. Let's learn more about that. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. So where you are, how is it serving you? What need or perceived need or subconscious need is that meeting for you? This is some of that deep internal personal reflection that we do when you work with me. There's a guided process for you to see really clearly what's happening deep within, because all change is going to start deep within you. And then that can grow and expand to those around you. And then that's what you're going to create and bring into being and develop and establish in your world. Yes. So looking at these deep internal beliefs and getting clear there is what's going to start this cascade of change. But this is your first step. Okay. What need, seen or unseen, is this meeting? Okay. If this were meeting a need for me, what could that need be? Could it be the perceived safety of having a paycheck? come every 2 weeks or once a month or however that pay system is? Could it be the perceived safety of having a corporate system doing your billing and your audits and your all of that? Could it be that? Could it be that external validation that you're looking for? That people say you're doing a good job, that people in the system, we know it's not a healthy system, but that, this personal depletion, the more you can help, the more you can caretake, the more you can give, the more you can burn yourself out, that the better you are. Right? Is there some validation? Is there some feeling of worth happening there? Is there, if I go and do my own practice, I'm going to be really successful and I'm going to outshine this person that means something to me in my life. I had a father that had tried consulting and he had tried sales and he had tried some of this type stuff and was never successful with it. But did I maybe have it in the back of my mind that for many years before I really found my niche, I really found what I loved, I really found what I was passionate about, but did I maybe have it in the back there that I didn't want to show him up? Maybe. Is there a connection of yours that you're afraid that you really achieving success and achieving the way that you want to do it, that relationship may not survive that? What is the cost of meeting this need? That's the next question, right? So is there a need that you've seen or that you haven't seen? Getting curious about that with you staying where you are. Yeah? Because you're feeling stuck there. So you're feeling stuck there because there's a need that's meeting that you're not seeing, that's not on paper. So getting really curious about that. Then when you find that need, and there's probably multiple, right? I just threw a number of examples out from my life, from clients' lives. When you start seeing that, then what's the cost you're paying? Looking at the cost you're paying. And I want you to look at how good of a job you are doing meeting that need for you. I want you to also look at what are you having to make okay? This is part of the cost, but part of that cost is what is it that you are having to make okay to fulfill that need? What is it that you are having to make okay to fulfill that need? You're having to make it okay that lady at the front desk is a bitch and schedules like shit. And that really disrespects the patients and it disrespects you and your time. And respecting your patient is like one of your top moral values, but you're having to make it okay that this scheduler is really terrible and that patients aren't feeling respected. But that's not actually okay. So looking at what's the need, what's the cost of meeting that need, of outsourcing that. So what are you paying to bring that into your world? Are you willing to continue paying that cost? And if you could meet that need in another way, what could that feel like? What could that look like? I could stop there. Like that's huge. So pause this and come back to it. Yeah? Because getting to that place is going to open your eyes up to so much. It's going to look at, I'm not worthy of a successful practice. It's going to look at, who am I to think that I could do it better? It's going to look at your fear of success, your desire for connection. It's going to look at all of these different stories and beliefs that you have. And getting curious about those is where we can make change deep within, again, that grows. If you were to truly own not just your desires, right? I talk a lot about owning your dreams and your desires, but let's back up here and look at owning your needs. Now, we have been told some crazy stories about our needs. And we've done an incredible job of making do. Yes? But if you were to look at truly meeting needs, your need for safety in the physical realm, your need for safety within, your need for your health and wellness. And if you were to truly take that responsibility back within you to meet your needs, then what are some of those needs? Right? For me, one of mine that I've kind of owned lately is that there's a safety piece that of having kind of not prepper, but having some resources stashed, having some extra food, having some extra ammo if I need to go back to hunting. Haven't done that in a while, but I have, right? Having extra water stored. And really, that also looks like having some land in the mountains and having a shelter in the mountains. I live in the desert. There's a ton of natural resources here, but also there's mountains not far from us. And so if something crazy, World War III happened, if something crazy happened, I would have a safe place to go. And it's kind of come recently that that's like a thing that would really feel safe for me, right? That it feels safe to you. If you start owning some of what your needs are, I need clothes that are comfortable. I remember when that was a thing. I need clothes that fit me well, that are appropriate for the temperature, right? I lived in the mountains in Colorado. I need clothes that fit me well, that are appropriate for the conditions that, right? That was a need that I wasn't meeting for myself at the time, right? And it was like, oh, I want pretty clothes. Yes, that's a desire, but also start looking at your needs for you to feel safe and feel comfortable. What does that look like? Start owning those. And if you were to start meeting those needs for you, if you were to take that responsibility back instead of outsourcing, right? You know that you can develop relationships. You know that you are responsible for your health and for your well-being and for your financial well-being and for protecting and providing for spaces for you to truly be you. That's your responsibility. No one else's. The second we outsource someone else being responsible for meeting our needs, we've just given them the opportunity, we've just handed them, here you are, I'm going to give you this, and now you can manipulate me, right? Here you are, I'm going to give you this, but now I'm going to resent you for not doing it the way that I would, or as well as I would, or having it feel the same way. I'm not saying that nobody else can contribute to your life, and ultimately, it's your life and you are the one that's responsible. What needs do you have to be met? And how can you fit your practice into your life as a part of meeting those needs? What shifts need to change if changes could happen where those needs could be met and where your life could look like it needs to look, right? I have incredible, deep, long-term friendships. And for a long time, I thought it was like a nice thing to go see them, that was like a desire. No, connection, deep connection is one of my needs to be able to go see my friends. So working at a place where I only get like 2 weeks off a year, that doesn't meet my needs. Setting up a practice where I'm able to travel and work where I go and be able to do these things and fit that into what I'm doing. This is a part of loving your work again. This is a part of eliminating burnout. This is a part of being the resource that you want to be. Yes, you are brilliant. You are. We'll see you soon.